pray for all of you and I today as a Christian, that we are not with the political things, but we also catch the passion for God, the vision that God has given, and continue to be imbued or fueled with the passion to preach the gospel to other nations. We are praying for the young generation and the people from all walks of life to stand up and to preach the gospel at every corner of our nation, our community, and our society, and the nation of the nation. But just like Joshua, the many great biblical heroes that we just mentioned earlier, Paul, Peter, John, how they are going to build that long-lasting legacy. They all begin with their humility with God, with their humble walk with God in the given vision. They also walk the talk. They don't just talk. They don't just preach. They don't just lecture. They don't just tell other people to do, but they walk the talk. They live out what they talk. And they continue to give an example for other people, and they continue to cast the vision. They don't just stop it there, but they continue to share the vision, the burden that God has given to them. Just like Joshua in chapter 1, when you read, when God has given him the call to lead the Israelites, he immediately called the people and began to cast the vision and to share about the plan of what to do. And then people immediately respond to it. How many of us are casting the vision today? I'm also casting the vision that we call Vision 20%. It's still at the early age of casting. And I'm still waiting that God is going to bless us so that the platform will become strong and we can spread and share the vision to all of the nations of the world. We are praying for the revival, and now I'm seeing that God is moving in a mighty way. It is not necessary that God have to use us. God can use anyone in this world. But are you willing to become part of that? Are you willing to pray and begin to take the action to pray together and continue to challenge other people to follow the vision, the call that God has given? And these people, they always build in the people. They invest in the people. They don't just talk about the project. They spend a lot of time for the people. I remember, just I share with you, in last July, many of my co-workers, actually they're my students, they came together to celebrate about our 20 years of mission in North Asia. And I was very surprised. Actually, I didn't think that. I didn't think of that. Why? I'm in this situation, right? In the past, I'm always in the big platform. It's better to celebrate on the big platform. How many of you agree with me with that? Yes, human beings, we always want it like that. I'm waiting for the time that we are on stadium and we are celebrating about 30 years of mission, 30 years of this and that, right? We want to like that. Here, almost no one knows about us, and we're celebrating about that. But one thing that I was so touched and so happy, because not only the next generation is standing up to take the thoughts, the baton, the mission that we impacted to them, they continue to carry it on. And on that day, they also dedicate their children for us to pray for their children. And from generation to generation, if you and I are not building in the life of the people, no one will share our passion. No one will share our vision. No one will share the legacy that God has given to us. And importantly, they have been faithful to that legacy. They have been faithful to the call that God has given. And that's how they build a long-lasting legacy. And of course, it's always with a great cause. And today, in honor of Charles Kirk, so I just spent a little bit more time to talk about the legacy that he has built and what are the contributions that he has done for the United States and the nation. The first thing is that from ChatGPT, they give us, first of all, reviving civic engagement among the young American through their core mission to educate, train, and organize students to promote freedom, free markets, and limited government, the Constitution, and conservative and Christian value. And when I was thinking about this, I think this man is smart. Because he knows in the heart of millions of America, they want this. It's just being buried, right? It's just being buried there. But the people have that passion. And God gave this man wisdom. And he just take action in order to turn it on. We just said in order to redigging the well, in order to redevelop that something already built in the heart and mind and life of millions of Americans. And that's why he could be easily more effective, and it's proven he is effective and successful. Secondly, he is building the great platform for students to speak out their voice, to debate, and to uphold the importance of free speech, big government, overreach, free market value, First Amendment rights on campuses and schools. And that's why he quickly can build about 3,500 chapters and more than that in all of the college and campuses, because students love to debate. They want to voice out their ideas, and he just meets the needs of each student. And the movement just develops so fast, and they also talk about something that they're very interested in. That even in the political arena, so many politicians always talk about the big government and small government. They talk about the socialism and capitalism, and we see that those topics never ended. He knows the need of the people. Thirdly, he mobilized young people in churches to integrate biblical values with civic duty. This is what I'm interested in as a pastor. I also want to encourage more of us to go into the world to share the gospel. And if we are not going to engage into the civic responsibility, how are we going to share the gospel? I remember when we went to share the gospel in the countryside. I'm a city boy. You know, a city boy, we don't know how to do agriculture thing. And even though my grandfather also do some of the gardening, so I can just know a little bit about that one. But growing or planting rices, I have no idea. Harvesting rice is no idea. But for the sake of the gospel, when we went into the countryside, and then I approached the people, they were scared. First of all, because we were strangers. Secondly, they are the adherents of other believers, of other religion, in which they are very afraid to receive the new religion. And they worry, because of superstition, they worry that their gods will punish them. So they try to avoid us. So how are we going to approach them? So what did I do? God just gave us a new idea. You know what the idea? During the time of harvest. And then I just roll up my sleeve and my pen, and then I begin to walk into the field, and I ask these farmers, can I help you to harvest the rice? And of course, I was thinking in their mind that, do you know how to harvest? Or you are going to destroy it? But anyway, our passion, our zeal, our eagerness, our willingness touched the life of these people. And as we were there, can carry a little bit of things, and we can share the gospel. And that is how the gospel has been spread, and churches have been planted in the new areas. And today, in the same way, in the city, there are many civic responsibilities that you and I can also engage in. Charlie's Kirk is mobilizing the young people, not only 1,000, but millions of them, to engage into civic responsibility and to share their faith. They also host a faith and freedom night to engage believers and churches in cultural and political life. And especially, as I said, the America Fest. It is going to be massive. I can imagine that. This year, December, in Arizona, Phoenix. And if you are planning for that, just register earlier, because I'm sure 100,000 of people will be there. And you can see this is a very, very rare gathering of massive young people coming together, and they are the people of faith. Fourthly, They build a strong national network of conservative students in more than 3,500 schools. As I said, they don't just build up, but they even equip, and this is what makes them very effective. They equip the new generation of leaders, and they also provide them with tools, with books, with training to how to defend freedom, because many people do not know how to do that. So they have the whole set of training, and anyone who have this blueprint will be easily become more successful. And that's what we did in our ministry. We also challenge and we also train a lot of young people. They don't know how to speak. We have to train them. We spend a lot of time for them in order to develop the ability and the confidence and the faith in their life. And today, hundreds of our young people are still there preaching the gospel in at least a few countries. And in the same way, this is what Charlie Kirk have done. It also provides internship, speaker opportunity, and training for future activists and political leaders in politics, media, business, ministry. Number 5, resisting the spread of socialism and authoritarian ideology. And that's why he can get a lot of support of the people, right? Promoting conservative value. And it is a strong opponent of socialism. There's another word I don't want to mention. Socialism and collective, right? Collectivism. It provides a counter narrative to a growing progressive ideology and raise awareness of how policy affect liberty and prosperity. You may just see some of his debate, video, so that you can understand more. But it's also make the global impact on freedom and liberty. And the example in case is now in UK, the movement is now building.